think one of the biggest thing for me is like I'm on my time, meaning like I wake up when I want to wake up. I mean, if I don't want to work today, I don't come to work. So I think that's one of the blessings. It's like, okay, I'm on my schedule, and then you get to operate on your time. I don't need to request no time off. I told people entrepreneurship to me is freedom. I look at it as freedom. Like, I can move however I want to move, and that's one of the biggest blessings for me being an entrepreneur. So almost 6 years now, full time entrepreneur for almost 6 years. It's just having that freedom to navigate places, to go wherever I want to go without someone signing off on my request, or say, "Oh, you're denied, you can't go here." And I take pride in that, because like I said, I know when I was working, my personality, I need to be a boss, like, cause like I just don't like people telling me what to do and just talking to me certain way because I treat people with respect. So, and when I realized in corporate, like, don't try to treat you that same respect. They look down on you as well, even though I have certain credentials, and that wasn't sitting well with me. So I know I had to like figure it out and like be my own CEO.
Right. Yeah, and I just had this conversation with, another guest, Kiani. I just
Yeah,
did
yeah,
this
yeah.
with her. So, like, she was just saying, like, how, like, how not everybody is meant to be a boss. You need people who are workers, because not everybody's meant for that type of role. Because I just think with being a boss, being a leader, there's always just gonna come a lot of criticisms. There's always just gonna come, there's always gonna be a lot of hate. There's always gonna be a lot of, just things that you gotta constantly deal with because you can't
And yeah, I could
have you gotta just do what's best for, especially when it comes to business, you have to do what's best for business.
definitely,
Never
and
it's always what's best for the business.
that's something that I struggle with at first. Like I said, when I said struggle with, because I would hire certain people and like they're like obviously they were close friends of mine, and then when stuff they're not doing the job that I hired them for, and then you have to have that tough conversation. That's always get difficult. That's why I say like you have to be able to separate. Okay, you my boy, but you work for me. It's certain level of professionalism you have to bring. So I think at my early stage running a business, I realized okay, if you have a friend or a close buddy to work for you, make sure you have those hard conversations from the beginning and set the expectations straight so everybody know, okay, this is what I'm expecting from you. And once we now on business move, we still cool, but here this is a business. So yeah, I need you to do this. We're not friends when it comes to this. No, this is business. I pay you for a job. I expect a certain professionalism. And that's something that I learned at an early stage, because it was rough when I first started. It was definitely rough. I had to fire a few people.
I don't even know. I quite honestly, I don't even know if I even wanna ever be in that role where I have, like, employees, because I don't quite honestly, I've realized with my personality, I just don't want to be in charge of having anybody on my payroll. I don't wanna be in charge of anybody's wage. Like, that's why I chose the stock market, and that's why I chose this is that where it's just I can be in control of it, and, if I wanna delegate maybe some tasks, maybe I can then do that. Like, the podcast thing, like, eventually at some point, I can delegate all these tasks here that I need done with, like, editing and finding clips and stuff like that, and that's easily payable. I can manage that, but, like, how some companies where you need, like, employees to do your full-time work and all this other stuff, I'm like,
Yeah.
I know.
Definitely a challenge, man. It's definitely a challenge. But like I said, you have to be built for it, and you can't be frustrated because I mean, I always tell people like to be a boss, you gotta be a great leader. And what I mean by that, like you have to lead by example. Like you can expect your employee to be at 7 a.m. and you walking in at 7:30 and you supposed to be at the same time. Like so I think your leadership is important when you're a boss. Cause someone your employee based on what you do, that's what they're gonna do. So that you gotta take pride in that, being on time and then showing up and actually putting the work in too. Not because you're a boss, like you think okay, you're not gonna do anything because your employee they have the same energy. So I think being having a strong leadership personality is important.